After analyzing dozens of ultra-budget smartphones on AliExpress, I selected 5 models that stand out not by brand or hype, but by delivering real value for the lowest possible price. These are phones under $100 that people actually buy, use daily, and in some cases recommend over mainstream options. I dug into user reviews, hardware specs, performance benchmarks, teardown reports, and firmware support to find what's truly usable and what's just cheap plastic with a screen. In this video, we'll break down the 5 most promising budget phones that dominate the low-end AliExpress market. Some offer shocking battery life, others pack features you'd never expect for this price, and one model managed to outperform expectations in almost every category. Whether you're looking for a secondary device, a phone for parents, or just curious how far $80 can stretch in 2025, this ranking will save you time, money, and a ton of disappointment.
5th place, Umidigi G9A. This is one of the newest budget phones from AliExpress, and yes, it costs under $100. But what do you really get at that price? First, it looks decent. The design is slim, the screen is big, 6.75 inches, and bezels are surprisingly thin for this range. But keep in mind, the resolution is just HD+, so don't expect razor-sharp details. Performance? Handled by the Unisoc SC986-3A. It's an old chip, 8 cores, Cortex A55, enough for light apps, calls, chats, maybe YouTube. Forget gaming or multitasking. This processor isn't made for speed. Still, Umidigi gives you 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, solid for the price. Plus, there's a micro SD slot, which is always welcome. The rear camera setup is modest. A 13-megapixel main sensor and a depth lens. It works in daylight. Don't count on detail or dynamic range. Low light shots? No chance. The front camera is 8 megapixels, okay for video calls. Battery life is a win. 5,000 milliamp hours is more than enough for a full day, but charging speed is slow, only 10 watts. At least you get USB Type-C. There's no fingerprint scanner, no NFC, no fast Wi-Fi, but you do get full 4G bands, GPS, headphone jack, FM radio, and even Android 14 out of the box, which is rare at this price. Bottom line, the Umidigi G9A is a good basic phone for people who want a big screen, clean Android, and long battery life, and who don't care about cameras or speed.
4th place, POCO C61. One of the newest ultra-budget phones from Xiaomi's sub-brand, and a strong pick under $100. It features a 6.7-inch HD+ display with a smooth 90Hz refresh rate and 500 nits of brightness. Gorilla Glass 3 protects the front, and the screen-to-body ratio hits around 90%. Inside, it runs on the MediaTek Helio G36, 8 cores up to 2.2 GHz. Paired with 3 GB of RAM and 64 of storage, it handles apps, browsing, and media just fine. There's also dual SIM support and a micro SD slot. The camera setup is basic, an 8-megapixel main sensor and a secondary portrait lens. Front camera is 5 megapixels. Video tops out at 1080p. In daylight, okay. In low light, very limited. Battery life is excellent thanks to a 5,000 milliamp hour cell, though charging is capped at 10 watts. Connectivity is solid. Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth 5.4, GPS, headphone jack, and USB-C. There's even a fingerprint reader on the side. No NFC, no fast charging, and RAM is tight, but overall, POCO C61 offers one of the most complete experiences under this price.
3rd place is Cubot X30P, one of the most overpowered phones under $100 if you can catch it on AliExpress discounts. It's powered by the MediaTek MT8788, built on a 12-nanometer process. Paired with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, it handles multitasking, gaming, and media with ease. The 6.4-inch full-view display offers vibrant colors and thin bezels, ideal for work or entertainment. Android 13 comes pre-installed with clean UI and system stability. The camera setup is unusually strong at this price. A 48-megapixel main sensor, plus 4 additional lenses including a 16-megapixel ultra-wide. Selfies, a sharp 32-megapixel front cam with AI and face unlock. There's also a fingerprint scanner for added security. Battery is 4200 mAh with standard 10-watt charging. You get 4G LTE, USB Type-C, a headphone jack, and even NFC for Google Pay. If you want max storage, max RAM, and solid cameras under $100, this is it.
Second place is Redmi A5, one of the most balanced phones in the budget segment right now. It offers a massive 6.88-inch display with a smooth 120Hz refresh rate, rare at this price. Resolution is only HD+, but the panel feels responsive and bright enough for daily use. The Unisoc T7250 powers the device, an octa-core chip clocked at 2 GHz, paired with 4 GB of RAM and 128 of storage. The combo feels stable in everyday apps, even with light multitasking. The main camera offers 32 megapixels with autofocus and LED flash. Results in daylight are decent, but low light remains a weak spot. Front cam is 8 megapixels, enough for video calls and casual selfies. Battery life is excellent thanks to a 5200 mAh cell, though there's no fast charging. USB-C, headphone jack, FM radio, Wi-Fi AC, everything essential is here. No NFC, but a fingerprint scanner is included. Overall, Redmi A5 feels fast, smooth, and practical. A solid choice for under $100.
First place, Oukitel C36. This phone hits the sweet spot between power, design, and battery life, all under $100. It runs on the Unisoc T606, with 2 Cortex A75 cores and 6 A55, offering great performance for its price. You get 4 GB of RAM, plus another 4 virtual, and 128 GB of internal storage. There's even microSD support up to 1 TB. The 6.56-inch IPS display is bright enough at 400 nits, with a sharp HD+ resolution and good viewing angles. The rear camera uses a 13-megapixel Hynix sensor with full HD video, while the 5-megapixel front cam handles selfies and face unlock. Battery life is excellent, 5150 mAh, lasting up to 25 hours on calls. You also get Android 13, USB-C, a headphone jack, Bluetooth 5.1, FM radio, GPS, and a side fingerprint scanner. No NFC or fast charging, but overall, this is the most well-rounded and dependable smartphone under $100 in 2025.
So, what did we learn? Even with a budget under $100, you don't have to settle for slow, outdated, or unreliable. Today's ultra-budget smartphones can still offer large screens, stable performance, modern Android, and batteries that actually last. Some focus on display smoothness, others push storage or battery life. A few even surprise with their cameras or build quality. Are they perfect? No, but they prove that low price doesn't always mean low value. If you choose wisely, you can get a phone that handles your daily tasks, without the lag, without the frustration, and without draining your wallet. Because in 2025, even entry level can be enough, if you pick the right one.